Alright everyone, so now I'm just going to be showing you how to maneuver some of the placed objects that you put in. So I have an imported door model over here already, the front door to this bedroom. I need to include two sliding doors for the walk-in robe here and then into the bathroom. So for sliding doors that aren't glass, I generally just use the same door cutout as the normal swing doors, but when we place our door, I have a specific sliding door um, model, which I will also share in the tutorial folder. So this is, oops, I'm still line drawing that, so I just pressed escape to stop placing them. Single placement, and if we look at this door, the main difference is I have a sliding door handle up here. So I'm going to place one here and move in a bit and place another one here. Doesn't really matter where you place it at first because we will be moving it. Try and just place it on the floor. So sometimes when you place with the first placement, if you place it close to the wall, it might just be floating up like that. That does get a bit annoying. Just try and keep it on the ground somewhere. And then we'll go to our horizontal move tool. And so for this, knowing whichever direction it's going to slide into, mine's going to slide this way, we're just going to warp it into the wall, just enough so our handle is sticking out so you can tell there is a sliding door there. Now, you want to make sure it's not sticking out on one side, but you also need to check the other side is also not sticking out. Yeah, so that door is perfect. That's how we want it to look. And then I'll just do this other one here in the walk-in robe. So we're just dragging it over, warp it into our wall here. So all of these doors can just stay in that position the whole time. There's no need to close them for your video or for the renders either. So they can sort of just live in the wall there. Of course, these doors we've already shown you how to place, but for most of our photos, they're also going to be open. So I'm going to rotate this door east, so it's a perfect 90 degrees. And then I might just zoom in and check that this door is in the right spot over here in the corner. So I move horizontal, I might just pull it out a little bit. Beautiful. So the next thing with this room, it's a bedroom, so we're going to place a bed, indoor furniture, beds are in assorted, and so just picking something that maybe I haven't used in my other rooms, find a nice wall for it. So when I'm placing, you can hold R and rotate. Without clicking anything, you can rotate, and we've got these northeast, southwest directions which will click into place sort of when you hover over them, which gives you those 90 degrees. And so if I let go of R without clicking the left click yet, you can still move it around, and then getting this back line of our model up against the wall, and then clicking it down. We've now placed it there. So we've got our bed. We might want to decorate the room a bit more, maybe put a bedside table down. And so again, we could rotate using R. This one here, R. We can also scale using L. So I'm going to just check the scale of this this bedside table. If I hold L, a little number appears, so that says 1.00. So that's the exact scale this model was meant to be. But if I want it to be a bit bigger, I can pull it up, I can pull it down again if I want it smaller, and then yeah, sort of just find what I want it to be that suits my room. So I'm happy with the 1, and then again I can release the L and place it where I like. Yeah, and then I can move over here and place another one. Oops. If it fits. Yeah. Awesome. And then I might do some little details, decorations. There's things like bags. I might put a bag on the corner of my bed here. Oh, oops, I'm moving around too much. Might rotate it slightly off so it looks a bit more natural. What else do we have in here? I've got a bunch of books. Maybe I can put a small pile of books over here on our bedside table, or maybe these single books usually will place flat, which is great. You can scale that if it's too big for the bench top, make it a smaller book. Doesn't really matter because no one knows what this book actually is. Place that down if I want, so maybe I'll just put that there. Go through all the decorations, see what you like. Definitely fill in the walls. I like using some of the canvases. So this one here, right now it's sort of morphing through the wall. I'm just going to rotate it towards this west end here. I'm also going to scale it up, so that's 0.63. I definitely want it bigger, but I might even make it bigger than that. Something like this, and sort of place it somewhat right above the bed there. If you find, because I've scaled it so much that it's protruding too much for your liking, this thickness wise, you can come in and move it horizontally in a little bit more. That way it shouldn't affect its height location too much, but just push it in. But whenever you do that, just be sure to check the other side of the wall. A lot of objects also have a colorization property you can edit, which of course you'll see with the corner of the object. It'll tell you if you can change the color. To change, you go to the select button, and of course this is our color palette, which again is a hex color scheme. On this particular design, I'm not sure what color it's changing. Can't really see a change, but for things like our bed here, you can change your bed cover and try and be, creative, artistic. Maybe you can do a color scheme with the whole room, things like that. So next I'm going to jump into the bathroom in here. So this toilet roll holder is also in the tutorials folder, but that is a Revit model, so it's not something I can move around in here. However, our vanity here, I'm going to include that, so we're going to go to plumbing. From our practical list here, we've got a specific, all our vanities are just flush with the countertop, and they just go in, and they're all square. So the one that I tend to use is wash basin 08. And so of course we're going to have to move it around, change the size and everything. So I like to get sort of a bird's eye view of my rectangle here. Going to line this up, hold R, move it over, hold L, bring it down till it looks about right. There's a lot of editing with the basins. I'm just going to click it somewhere there. I'm going to move it vertically down so that it's about at countertop height. You'll start to see it cutting through, and that's perfect. That's what we want to see, just so we can see where it's ending up. You can move it horizontally if you need to. I'm just going to scale it a little bit more. Again, you can either hold L and drag our control point here, or you can come down here, hold Shift, and change our scale like that. So that's looking a bit better. I might move it up again. see how we're looking. I might actually go back up a tiny bit. And as long as you don't have the countertop cutting through the basin, it's pretty good, I think. You might still see little cuts around the corners. I think it's better to have those little cuts, if you can, at the back. Sorry about my controls. Where it's less visible than the front here. So I might move this horizontally just a tiny bit forward, like that. I think that's pretty perfect. So that's done. I'm going to put in a tap. Looking at our practical list again, this is our tap that iBuild offers. So we're trying to find something as close to this as possible. You might not find the exact one. This one's not bad, though they've put it to the side, which you could do. That's not too big a problem. I like to go with this one here, even though the handles are slightly different, it gives you the right idea. Again, I'm just going to double check the size is about right. About the default is usually a life size, so it's not going to be obnoxiously large or anything on your model. So that's the basics for the bathroom. The shower head, again, try to find something as close as you can to the inclusion list here. So our one's not sticking up like that, but that is an adjustable head, and this one is approximately probably the closest that Lumion has, at least this Lumion 10 that I have here. So I'm just going to place that in here around our glass height. It can be a tiny bit higher, not too much lower. It is a bit awkward to find the right height that we want to be. And then I'm just going to grab two handles, and they can either be right next to each other or centered opposite, doesn't really matter too much. Then with the bathroom, decorate it up as well. Put some posters on the walls if you like. Put some little pot plants in. There's our pot plants. One of these maybe. I usually like to put one of these somewhere if there's a little space for it. Put some little vases or anything on the bench here, and it can be like our soap dispensers, all sorts of decorations. Just have a play with it. Maybe put something in the shower here. Yeah, liven it up. Images of the bathrooms and kitchens are usually the most sort of attractive features that customers like to look at. So saying that, coming to our kitchen, the main things we're adding that we don't have from Revit is obviously our oven and our stovetop. We already have our sink, which is great, and I've given that just an aluminium material, and it is very reflective of the outdoors, just like our mirror was, which we'll also be able to edit when we make our renders. I'll talk about that more in the effects screen. So for this one, we're going to look at the kitchen tab, and there's all of our cooktops. So looking at our practical list, I'm not sure if this one had the cooktops. Yeah, so here you can either go for an induction stovetop or a gas, but it's a 4-burner and a simple, clean looking oven. So for the 4-burner, I usually go with this one because all the others are not 4-burners, but there's also a couple induction ones here. Really, up to you, play around, see what looks best on your model. I'm going to rotate that around because the controls should be at the front. try and center it as much as you can. Place it there. Sorry. And then I'm going to grab an oven. So for the ovens, Lumion has kitchen sets that are sort of whole cupboards and whole countertops set up, including ovens like this wall oven here, which has cupboards underneath it that you would, have somewhere on the side like that. So this obviously doesn't match the rest of our cabinets. However, the oven from this one here, so kitchen cabinet 003E, is probably our nicest option. Ones like this one here have a white bar floating on top of it. This one here has an entire wall. And so if we're going to sort of push this one around, we can actually fit this one into that gap fairly well. So I'm going to zoom in around here. I'm just going to place it in there. Doesn't really matter where exactly because it's going to move around quite a bit. So this control point, I'm going to pull it down through the house. So it's about the height that I want, maybe a bit lower. Then I'm going to scale it. I'm going to shift scale, maybe a bit more. I'm going to push it down a bit more so it's under the countertop. I'm going to move it horizontally back into place. Okay, so it's kind of like that, so we can't see the drawer at the bottom there. But now we've got all this extra space sort of around our oven. So I am just going to scale it and move it around and try and make it look as best as it can. Maybe like that. Oh, where did it go? Did I just... Yes, I did. Let's bring that back. Yeah. Let's move this around a bit. Let's push it down again. It's looking a little green right now, but that's actually because it's reflecting the grass that isn't here, just like the range hood is reflecting blue. So don't worry too much about that. So I think that's a pretty good fit, probably as good as we're going to get. You will notice it is sort of pushed in a bit. It's not flush against it or anything, but it is the best we can do without getting that drawer poking out at the bottom. And for the renders, it actually comes out pretty well. So I'm just gonna save. I'll quickly show you sort of our photo appearance there. That's looking okay. All the reflections look a bit better. Not green or anything. And then yeah, we just want to fill it in. So those are our necessities. Oh, forgot a fridge. There's fridges in here too. I believe there's 2 of them. These 2 fridges. I do like this one if you have a wide enough space for it. This one is a bit taller as well. And then, decorate your kitchen. This looks a bit large. So, edit it how you like. Fill it in, make it look pretty. And yeah. Oh, I was also going to put some stools here. So using that same technique we had before with our fence, I'm going to place a line of them starting over here, ending over here, about there. I'm going to rotate the direction so it's 90 degrees roughly. Maybe get rid of one of them, or maybe I'll just move that in. Yeah, might move him in as well. So yeah, just different ways to play around with the inputting of models. So yeah, kitchen, bathroom, laundry is pretty simple. There is washing machines in the electronics section. You can put a TV down. I've put mine on the wall. You could just place it on the cabinet as well. Yeah, be creative, have fun. That's decorating the models. The next thing I'll probably look at is the effects we can do with our photos, which is probably the last important section for Lumion. So